Hey, good morning, it's Uncle Lou here. Yeah, that's right, it's me, Uncle Lou, and I'm live for you on YouTube today. And thanks for watching, I really appreciate it also. And two, in addition to that as well, let me start off first at the beginning by wishing everybody a happy new year. I hope your 2019 is better than your 2018. No matter how good your 2018 was, hope your 2019 is better. For me, 2018 was one of the best years I've had in a long time in a lot of different ways. You know, other than the way it ended there right before Christmas. So sort of weird for Uncle Lou there, but I had a great 2018 overall, and a lot of that is due in large part to you guys. So I want to thank you guys for watching me on YouTube during 2018. I hope you guys will stick around for 2019. We're going to have a lot more fun this year, I can promise you that. I'm going to preview all of today's big bowl games today in this video, and we're going to do that right now. All right, per usual, this prediction video is sponsored by the good people over at betnow.eu. There's a link in the description of this video. If you click that link, it'll take you over there. They're going to get you set up with all your college football betting needs for the rest of the bowl games today, national championship game next week. They got you covered for the NFL playoffs, March Madness down the road, whatever you need. Click the link in the description of this video. When you get signed up over there, make sure you enter the bonus code Uncle Lou. That's one word, all lowercase letters, Uncle Lou, and they're going to get you set up with a bonus on whatever you deposit. Good luck. All right, I'm going to make a post over on the Patreon page here this afternoon, but I've gotten all you guys' messages and comments and all that, all you Patreon members, about streaming the Sugar Bowl tonight, so I will do that. I will stream the Sugar Bowl tonight here live on YouTube. The stream will be for Patreon members only, so it'll be a private video. As usual, the link will be posted over on the Patreon page. So if you're a Patreon member, make sure you check the Patreon page. The Sugar Bowl is what, 8:45? Probably start streaming around 8:15 or 8:30 tonight. So make sure you check the Patreon page around that time tonight. You'll see a link posted over there. Just click that link. It'll take you straight to the live stream. If you're not a member of the Patreon page and you want to join, there's a link down below that says support the channel and win a jersey, I think it says. You click that link, it'll take you over to the Patreon page. You can get yourself signed up. Come watch the Sugar Bowl with us tonight. We have a great time on these live streams, so I'll see you guys over there tonight. All right, up first today, we got the Outback Bowl, Iowa and Mississippi State. So another SEC, a lot of SEC today. Iowa versus Mississippi State in the Outback Bowl. Mississippi State's a 7.5-point favorite in this one. Mississippi State's a weird team. I mean, they've got a pretty good defense. Nick Fitzgerald is a good quarterback for what he does, which is run the ball. Not a good passing quarterback, in my opinion. So Mississippi State, very one-dimensional. Iowa, sort of a middle-of-the-road Big Ten team, right? They don't fit into the category, I don't think, of Ohio State, Michigan, Wisconsin, Penn State. But they're just below that, right? And Iowa, anytime I talk about Iowa during the season, and I rarely trash talk Iowa because, let's just be real, there's rarely a reason to. But anytime I talk about Iowa, I like to mention their coach, Kirk Ferentz. Is that his name? I like Kirk Ferentz. To me, Kirk Ferentz is an example of a coach who gets the absolute most out of the available talent that he has, right? Sometimes you see a team that's loaded, they don't necessarily hit expectations or whatever. And I'm not trying to sit here and tell you that Iowa meets or exceeds expectations every single year, but more times than not, this guy Ferentz seems to get the most out of the available talent he has at Iowa, which is not a whole lot. And again, that's not a knock on Iowa. Iowa's not, you're not going to find Iowa in the top 10, 15, or 20 of any recruiting ranking lists. And they seem to have good years based on the talent they have. So not here to trash talk Iowa. SEC is 4-3 in bowl games so far. Make it 5-3. I think Mississippi State wins. I really wish this was 6.5. This was a hard one for me to pick. I thought about going with Iowa and taking those points, but I'm an idiot and a glutton for punishment and an SEC homer. So give me Mississippi State, latest 7.5. Okay, and here's one here where I just really don't like the matchup for the SEC team. The Citrus Bowl, Kentucky plays Penn State. Penn State's a 6-point favorite. I know Penn State had a disappointing season based on their expectations and what their fans were thinking heading into the season. Kentucky, on the other hand, had one of the best seasons they've had since Michael Jackson was black. So it's been a long time since Kentucky has been this good, right? Expectations here, motivation to be in this game, right? Kentucky, very excited, very happy to be playing in this bowl game. Kentucky, a team that struggles to just make bowl games generally. and here they are playing in one of the bigger bowl games this season. Penn State, on the other hand, like I mentioned, sort of a letdown season based off of preseason expectations, winding up in the Citrus Bowl. Penn State's a 6-point favorite. Kentucky, I think Kentucky's going to have to find a way to throw the ball some in this game to win. I think that's been Kentucky's problem this season, is relying too heavily on Benny Snell. Terry Wilson, first-year quarterback at Kentucky. He can run around. He can make some plays with his legs, but he's been a below-average throwing QB this year. Penn State, on the other hand, has one of the best quarterbacks we've seen come out of the Big Ten in a while. Best pocket quarterbacks anyway, and Trace McSorley, the guy. A ton of touchdown passes, consistent. Game-managing type of quarterback. Look, he's not an elite-level quarterback like a I'm not trying to say that, so calm down if you're like an Ohio State fan, and I'm not knocking your quarterbacks. Obviously, your quarterbacks have been a lot more dynamic than what we've seen at Penn State, but Trace McSorley has been, listen, compared to Terry Wilson when it comes to throwing the ball, Trace McSorley is elite. 6 points. I do think Penn State probably wins this game. Again, SEC homerism here. I'm going to ride with Kentucky to keep it closer than 6, though. Give me the Wildcats and the 6 points. Okay, here we go. Now, I've said this a couple of times about this game, LSU Central Florida, Fiesta Bowl, right? LSU's an 8-point favorite. I've said this a few times. Outside of the playoffs and the national championship game and whatever bowl game your team is in, this is probably the game you're looking forward to watching the most, right? People want to see, can Central Florida do it 2 years in a row? Can they go undefeated 2 straight seasons? And can they cap those undefeated seasons off with New Year's 6 bowl wins over an SEC team? Of course, last year Central Florida ran the table and then beat Auburn in the Peach Bowl. Here we are this year, Central Florida undefeated again, and they catch LSU in the Fiesta Bowl. I think LSU is a better team. I think Auburn was a better team last year, though, so we obviously know that doesn't always matter. Motivation here, Central Florida is going to be excited to be in this game. They're going to come out looking to prove, right, that they belong in the playoff, that kind of thing. LSU is without a couple of its players. Central Florida, obviously, without Mackenzie Milton due to that just terrible leg injury he suffered a month or so ago. I'm going to sort of take the same approach here I took with Kentucky and Penn State. I think LSU will win this game, okay? 8 points is over a touchdown, though. I'm going to go with Central Florida to keep it closer than that, even though I do think LSU ends up winning. Give me Central Florida and the 8 points. All right, Washington versus Ohio State in the we forgot they were even playing bowl, the Rose Bowl. To me, this is probably the least talked about bowl game, really, of all the major bowl games we've had over the last 2 or 3 days. As far as comments I receive here on YouTube or phone calls I get on the show, or whatever, for whatever reason, there just doesn't seem to be a lot of interest in this game. One of the reasons may be because people are not expecting this game to be close. In my mind, I think Ohio State runs away with this game. I don't think Washington's going to be able to keep up with Ohio State. Both of these teams a little disappointed to be here. Both went into the season with hopes of making the playoff and winning their conference. In the case of Ohio State and Washington, they did do that. They did win their conference. However, both had a couple of losses, keeping them out of the playoffs this year. I like Chris Peterson. I like what he's done at Washington. I like Washington's quarterback next year, too. Yeah, Google that. I got to take Ohio State here. I do think this will be an entertaining game. I'm not sure why the interest level is so low. I think this will be an entertaining game. I'm going to take Ohio State, latest 7 points. All right. And then the main one today, the one everybody wants to watch today, the biggest game of the day involving the best team playing today. The Sugar Bowl, Texas versus the University of Georgia. Georgia currently sits as a 12-point favorite in this one. If you watched my video yesterday, the hype and hate video, I always give a score prediction at the end of that video. Score prediction, Georgia 41, Texas 20. So obviously I'm taking Georgia here and laying the 12 points. I don't think defensively Texas is going to be able to do enough to slow Georgia down. I know Texas has played a lot of potent offenses during the season, but nothing like they'll see from Georgia with a balanced attack. They haven't seen an offensive line like Georgia's. They haven't seen a running back combination like Georgia's, and I think Jake Fromm, per usual, will make enough plays with his arm to where this game's not going to be that close. Texas offensively, Their wide receivers do concern me a little bit, especially with DeAndre Baker being out. I'm not going to lie. It looks like we're probably going to have to play true freshman Tyson Campbell on an island somewhere against one of those big wide receivers from Texas, and that could be an issue. He's had trouble this year defending against big wide receivers. We'll see. He actually got benched a few weeks back. Eric Stokes taking his place, so probably going to have Stokes on one side and Tyson Campbell on the other. If that's the case, I expect Texas to test Tyson Campbell early and often in this game. If the defensive line and the linebackers can play in this game like they played against Alabama, I'll feel a lot better about it. Sam Ehlinger, if that's the case, Sam Ehlinger will spend the majority of this game running for his life. If our front plays like they did against Alabama, I expect that to happen. I think the Dogs win pretty comfortably. I think this will be a pretty close game. I think this has the potential to be an entertaining game, one that keeps you watching for most of the game, definitely through halftime. I don't think this will be a blowout at halftime or anything like that. I think Georgia starts to pull away in the second half, though, and wins by a couple of touchdowns. Give me the Dogs. Later, 12. All right, there it is. That's it. The previews for all of today's game. I'm sorry this was so quick and kind of short. Yesterday was New Year's Eve. I was up a lot later than I should have been. I actually didn't even come out here today to start on this video till 10:30, and I've got to try to get this thing uploaded by 12. So sorry it was kind of short and sweet and to the point, though. Don't forget Patreon stream tonight, 8:30 here on YouTube for all the Patreon members. Again, click the link in this description that says support the channel and win a jersey. It'll take you to the Patreon page. Get yourself signed up. Watch the Sugar Bowl with us. We have a great time. I act like a complete fool when I watch these games, and I've been told it's pretty entertaining. Anyway, I really appreciate you guys watching. Again, Happy New Year. Thank you for spending some of your 2018 here on YouTube, and I hope that you'll spend some of your 2019 here as well. Y'all have a good morning.